Hey, well, good afternoon. Middle of October up here in Kingfield, Maine. What is today? The 15th. And this is Brian at Brian's Guitar Rehab. Got one to show today. This is a Harmony H1204 Sovereign. And you may recognize it. It's one I had for sale a couple months ago, and I sold it. And the buyer just really didn't bond with it. There was a couple things he wanted to do to it that couldn't be done, and I'll explain later. So anyway, I took it back. So just as a reminder, if you buy anything from me, I give you a week, and I'm pretty relaxed about that. If something you don't like, just let's talk, and I'll take it back, give you a full refund. Sometimes I'd like you to pay the shipping back, but it really depends on all the circumstances. Anyway, this is the Harmony H1204. It's a 1972, so it's 50 years old right now. It is the 000 OM size guitar, like the 1203. The difference being this one has solid spruce top, just like the 1203 Sovereign, birch back and sides. It's got the funky mustache bridge like they put on the 167s. Got the normal Harmony Sovereign headstock, but it has this plastic overlay, which sadly is in pretty rough shape on this one. These were a ladder brace guitar, just like the 1203 and the 1260 Stairway models. I've got one of each of those in this room right now too, so I'm kind of looking around the room as I'm talking. And my Resto-Mod process is to change that over to X bracing. So this has had the ladder bracing removed. It's got an 88-degree scallop tapered X brace. It's got 2 tone bars down in the belly, tone bars up the side, transverse bar across, no popsicle stick. Back braces. Harmony always puts 5. I take them out and I change it down to 4. Gibson and Martin seems to think 4 is good enough, so I agree with that. A little lighter weight that way. Sides have been reinforced. All kinds of reinforcement strips in there. Had a neck reset. It's now sitting a very comfortable .080 on the low E side, about .065 on the high E side. Relief is .007 under the 7th fret. It's got all brand new frets. It's got new tuners. These are Wilkinson 18-1s. It's had the neck reshaped slightly. Had the great big baseball bat Harmony neck. I decided to slim it down just a little. I didn't go as much of a V as I sometimes do. This is pretty much just sort of a low profile C shape right now. And then I sort of put the Art Deco little stripe points so I could keep the neck the natural poplar that it is. The reason I took it back, when I sold it, I had listed it as a non-functioning truss rod. It's got the two-piece 3/16 steel with an adjustment nut up top. The adjustment nut was doing nothing. It was locked solid, and it was just frozen in there. So it basically had 2 3/16-inch steel bars in the neck. It seemed really stable for about the month that I played it before I sold it. However, the guy that I sold it to wanted to put new frets on it, and he didn't like the small frets that came on Harmonies back then. Wanted more of a jumbo or a medium at least. So we took it to a local shop to get the fret job done, and they didn't want to do it with the truss rod not working. So I took it back. Once I got it back, I decided, hey, I'm going to go to town on this. So I peeled the fretboard off, and I pulled out that truss rod, 2 pieces of steel. Took a little excavating to get that nut out of the top up here because it was locked right into place. Had some epoxy up in there too, where it looks like a previous owner just sort of glued it in through the truss rod opening. So I reamed that all out, and it now has a 2-way adjustable low-profile truss rod from Stu Mack. While I had the fretboard off, I went ahead and refretted the entire neck. So this has medium, nickel silver frets in it. They're nicely leveled. They are crowned. They're very smooth. I will admit, I am not a master luthier when it comes to doing fretwork. If you look at my ends, they look pretty decent, but, I'm my worst critic, of course. But I'm sitting there every time I kept trying to, round them off a little more. I'm taking more meat off. So they're as good as I can get them. And my price here will reflect that. I think they're pretty good, but they definitely don't look as nice as my Martin or my Gibson. Playability-wise, this thing just plays beautifully now. It's got a really nice 000 sound and feel to it. A little bit more mid-range to it because of that birch. strings kick today, obviously. Got a very comfortable 1 3/4 nut with 2 1/4 string spacing on the bridge, so it feels really good on fingerstyle. Hey, anyway, thanks a lot for looking. It's a 1972 H1204 Harmony Sovereign with X bracing, maple bridge plate, reset neck, new frets, new truss rod, new tuners, reshaped neck with that killer Art Deco point stripy stuff on the back. And I'm going to call this the Rod Resto-Mod because we all know what a rat rod is. You know, you take an old Model T T-bucket and you put like L60 tires on the back with Krager deep dish, and it's got a full-blown 427 in there, and it's got 411 gearing, and it's got nitrous, and that thing will go down a 1/4 mile faster than you can say lickety split, but it's gray primer. Well, I'm not sure I'll ever redo another black guitar because, boy, I'll tell you, black is crazy. This thing has got its share of dings, and it's got its patina. It's got its war wounds, and she would look beautiful at midnight at the bar. But she's a rat rod. She's got all new guts, and she is rebuilt from the frame up. She's just got the character to prove it. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. See you later.